What's up, guys? Tyler here from Vant Trading. We're going to do a weekly chart analysis video for you guys and see what we expect going on for the week. So let's just hop on into it and take a look at the charts. So as always, starting on the weekly chart, last week closed. We have a new week coming up in front of us, and we'll start with gold. So looking at gold's weekly chart, as you can see, these last two weeks were a period of indecision, consolidation, waiting for this CPI print that just came out this past Friday. And this current weekly that just closed last week broke the low, retested the low of the week before, this consolidation zone, this previous area of support, this 1832 area, and then we closed very bullish at the top end of that consolidation zone. And you'll see that on the daily once I go to it. So what you can expect is that we had respected this trend line, had a bullish close against it, another bullish close, and then we found support along 1832, and then we closed bullish. So what I'd expect going into this week is maybe one last retest of 1850, to create a lower wick for the weekly chart, because as you can see on the weekly chart, there's rarely any candles that have no upper and lower wicks, but it happens. And so I'd expect the start of the week to pull back a little bit, and then we'll start pushing up towards 1900. My profit target for the weekly candle is 1900. Which is also the resistance, I guess it'll be coming into resistance or support of the same area where we found a lot of exhaustion at before. So once we break last week's high is when you should be good to go to look for a nice continuation up towards 1900. Looking at the daily, daily closed very nice, broke the low of this entire consolidation, grabbed a bunch of orders, stopped people out, before we then closed very bullish at the upper end of this consolidation range, just above it. So now, of course, you got to keep an eye on where are the areas of exhaustion, and it's up at the 1900 area. So definitely looking for a nice push to 1900. Could even go farther. We'll see what happens. But the first area of interest is 1900. Then we'll look at like 1920. Look at the 4-hour. 4-hour closed again, same story, broke the low of consolidation, closed very bullish. What I'd like to see is a temporary relief of this 1874 zone. Give us an 1858 retest. That'll give us that lower weekly wick, and then we'll continue up from there. And once we find some support at 1857, look for some buying opportunities to take you up to 1900. So that's what I'm looking at for gold. Take a look at pound yen. Pound yen, pretty easy price action as well. The last couple weeks we had some pretty strong bullish momentum, leaving this area of support at 157. Broke out, retested it, and now we're heading bullish away from it. This current, or I guess last week, the last weekly candle, had a nice rejection, nice exhaustion wick of this previous weekly of April 18th. And so now we're running into a lot of exhaustion and a lot of rejection at this 168 area. What you can expect is somewhat of a wick fill and then maybe a continuation down. It's going to follow the overall market. So if you keep an eye on US 30, the DAX, it's going to follow the trend of the overall market. And if you look at US 30, US 30 is looking very heavy, and it looks like it wants to continue down. You look at the zone of 33,000 on the weekly chart. Bearish close on this retest, bearish confirmation, so we should continue down, and that'll drag pound yen down as well. So looking at pound yen on the daily, We found some resistance at 168, and we had a bearish candlestick form and a confirmation of resistance. And so now what I'd expect is a retest of around 167 and then a continuation down towards 163 is what I'd like to see, and will give us a retest of this 162 breakout, as well as the retest of this breakout of this wedge in here, and then we'll continue on where we want to continue from there. But overall, I'd expect some type of correction and some selling into this move that we had the last couple of weeks. So looking at the 4-hour, same thing. What I just went over is we have to retest this 167 area still. Just break down. Looking for a push up into 167, find some type of resistance, and then I'll take a sell on the way back down towards 163, 164, and then we'll see where we continue from there. But I'll draw my Fibonacci's from the top to bottom, and overall, it should give us a nice extension down. So that's what I'm looking at for pound yen this week, and we'll keep an eye on the continued daily breakdowns. And I will cover pound AUD. I think it's starting to move again. So you can expect a continuation down. If all the pound starts getting pulled back, dollar is bullish. With the dollar being bullish, pound dollar is most likely to fall. And so, pound yen looks like that's most likely to fall. So pound's getting pulled back a little bit. AUD is pretty strong right now. If you look at the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, we've been pushing up off our lows in here. But overall, the US dollar is pretty strong. So I'd expect to pull back a continuation down in pound AUD. Looking at the weekly chart in here. Weekly chart retest this breakdown of 17600. Gave us this rejection wick. And so I'd expect us to continue down towards 17200 even, and then once we break these lows in here, it'll start flushing down pretty nicely. Looking at the daily, same thing. Retest this breakdown here. Retested the moving average. Closed very bearish. So maybe we'll get some type of small wick up. Break this daily low, and we should at least continue down to 7300, 7200, and then we'll see where we go from there. Most likely continue down. So the overall trend right now is your friend, and that is bearish. Look at the 4-hour, retest and support really nicely, probably get one more wick up, find some resistance, and then break. So I'll be looking for shorts into 75.50 rejection area right in here. That's going to be it. It's going to be it for the week. Keep an eye on gold, keep an eye on pound yen, pound AUD, and we should get some nice moves. Keep in mind this week, we do have the dollar interest rate. Let me move this over. We have the dollar federal funds rate decision on Wednesday, 2 p.m. Expected to give us a 50 basis point rate hike. And then you also have pounds bank rate decision on Thursday, and they're expected to do a 25 basis point hike. So pound and dollar have a big week fundamentally ahead of us. So definitely keep an eye on Wednesday and Thursday as we start approaching the end of the week. But that's it. I will see you guys on the charts Monday, and safe trading.